Hello, this is BalletMage from the Wingspan Tournaments Discord. Today I'm bringing you a game from the Wingspan World Cup. In this game, I am playing gtrudat. We've already flipped and I'll be going first, so let's get right into it. This is a post-game commentary, and as always, I'll post links discussed in the description. And let's take a look at our opening hand here. And right away, Franklin's Gull pops right up. That's always nice to see in starting hand. With house rules, we know we can't play that in the first round. So seeing the black turn there is very nice. Can get that down and start to dig and draw some cards. Hopefully find a forest bird, need a food source. Don't see anything in the tray there. So having a couple of cards down in the wetlands to be able to dig and look for a good forest bird, food source, maybe even a raven, as Tay from Tuck and Cash likes to say, go raven digging. A falcon is interesting. It doesn't really help out too much here. It's hard to get down. Let's see if we can take a look at what's in the bird feeder. See what might be there. I haven't looked at that yet. Back and forth in the falcon. I think the green heron is interesting here. It would allow me to, as I dig through cards, pick any different food and swap it out. Keeping the falcon is going to be hard. You see I've got rat there. Bonus cards, ethologist, that's an automatic. Guaranteed 2 points, and you'll likely get 4, 6, maybe even 8. Eight's a stretch. But I think that's better than the large bird specialist. Large bird specialist is a little harder to get to. And you can see thinking about the green heron at this point. Get rid of one food, so take the 2. Finally decided to go there and look at the tray. See, there's a fish in there, some grubs and some seeds. I think that I can get the black tern, the green heron down right away, and just start the digging. We'll need 2 additional food to be able to play the gull at the beginning of round 2. But I think this gives me an opportunity to start to dig in the water. Said find a good food source and see what happens. So I think this would be a good one to lock in, and let's see what my opponent does. I don't really like anything there in the tray, so I think now the decision is: do I just play the black tern, or do I go and grab a fish that's in the tray? I'm gonna have to draw food twice, so it may not matter. Maybe controversial to pull that fish, especially if I'm going to play the heron and swap for anything else. So maybe it doesn't matter, but I think having it's fine. It's there. I can play the black tern, lay eggs, play the green heron, and then just start to dig. And you can see here, I'm not really paying attention to what my opponent has done. And you'll see throughout this video that is a theme. Playing my own game, not really paying attention to what my opponent's doing. And that's one thing I've learned watching over this video again, is I need to really pay attention better to what my opponent's doing. We also seem to play very quickly in this game. This is not an accelerated playback. This is at regular speed. But I'm sticking to my original plan here. Get the tern, get the heron, and now let's dig and start to look for some forest birds, cheap birds to play down, something to give me extra food, or maybe even that raven. Let's see if we can pay attention this time to what my opponent does. And they drew birds. So let's do the same. Take right off the top. White-backed woodpecker. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So pull another bird off the top. Maybe we'll get a raven. That'd be nice. I think I really should swap that fish for a grub here, so I can put that woodpecker down right away. And what am I going to do? Yes. Okay. So made the right choice to actually swap this out. And you see, I'm still debating, thinking about it, and did swap that for a grub. Take another bird here off the top, kingfisher. That's okay. Maybe we can play that. But this woodpecker here, this Eurasian green woodpecker, is one of those that counts twice for end of round goals if it counts, and none of these goals it counts for. So that gets tossed. Now I think that the plan can be to go ahead and play that white-headed woodpecker and draw a couple of food. That way I'm ready to play the Franklin's Gull. So I've got 2 turns left. I need to get food one time. And then draw cards. So let's see. Opponent got food. There's a fish up there. So I could really take anything. I could take the fish and perhaps a grub. Just to have. Never know what my opponent needs. I'm going to leave 1 behind no matter what, so they can re-roll. But I think it makes sense to take from this double food. That way, if they do re-roll, they have less chance of getting what they want. And I could swap out food here. It depends on what I get from pulling cards. So let's see what comes up. Oh, they played the crow. So neither one of us has 5 bird points yet. No, I'm not going to get anything to meet this first end around goal. That dark-eyed junco, that's really nice. That will allow me to tuck cards and get a seed in the grasslands. It'll pair nicely with Franklin's Gull. Mute Swan's interesting. I don't think I want to pivot to a full tuck game. I like Franklin's in the grass a little better. I've got the other bird to tuck and get food. So let's see what they do here. Well, they must have played a bird, so they won that end around goal. There's 4 points I'm down right now. Indigo bunting. It's all Flan's favorite card, and of course they did play it in the proper habitat in the grasslands. So that's Flan from Wingin It. And they drew cards again. So now you see the last turn I didn't swap the fish for the seed to be able to play the other card right away. Fortunately, I got lucky on the reroll here, so I'll get a seed and a grub. Can play the card now, and then follow up immediately with Franklin's. So I think this is okay at this point. Maybe suboptimal. Maybe relying on a little bit of luck with the reroll. Perhaps. I guess I could have drawn cards and swapped out food if I needed to. But getting that Junko down and then follow up with Franklin's Gull, I think it just needs to be the plan here. And once again, I'm just not paying attention to what my opponent is doing at this point. Even on the replay, I really have no idea what they're doing. I get into the rhythm of my opponent, and we're playing so quickly here. They've got a decent force starting to build up. I think now adding Franklin's Gull, mine's a little stronger. They've got definite food option there. One from the bird feeder maybe. And then, of course, with the crow. So now I'll be seeing cards. Can tuck one to get a seed. and let's just see what we can get. Start playing some birds. I'd love to be able to build out that grasslands to 3 or 4. Of course, looking at these end around goals. This one is food and personal supply. So it's not one I like to see. I like to keep my food where it needs to be and play it. Draw a couple cards, maybe a tuck one. As I'm thinking about these here, Ethologist works. That still would work to help build out my Ethologist, but I'm thinking about, I'm getting seeds from the Junco, getting extra cards from the Gull. I don't know if this is still such a good card to keep at this point. Probably not going to play that Mute Swan, but who knows? It does have a seed on it and a wild card, so I can play it pretty easily. So we'll tuck it. The Tree Keeper is interesting. That's one of these new European expansion birds that allows you to discard a card to play another card in the forest when you get food. That could be interesting to play in the forest. I've got I'll be able to have the seed to play it. When I play it, get two food. And maybe I'll have extra cards from the Gull to be able to discard and rapidly build out that forest. So that's an interesting one. We can look for additional forest birds. The Eurasian tree swallow is interesting. I obviously didn't pay attention to it, but I quite like this draw. I have a set I like. The red knot I really like. Now I've got 4 water birds, 3 spaces. I can't play them all, so one of them's going to have to go. So we'll tuck one of those. Likely not going to play the Mute Swan, so I'm going to tuck it at this point. And I've got the Kingfisher there. I might play it if I get another fish. Might give me an extra fish if my opponent plays in the card or 2. But I think we're just going to keep laying eggs and see what happens. Of course, you can see here I chose to get food, 1 food in the bird feeder, an optimal reroll. Now, I don't know why I didn't think about that bird I just talked about. I opted to do is just pick up a single grub. I can play it and then play more forest birds. Really thinking about, what food I might need. I can play that avocet. I can play that red knot. And of course, you can see I ditched the Tree Keeper. I think that was a mistake. Probably should have ditched the Kingfisher and tried to play the Tree Creeper. That's an interesting bird. I think with the Franklin's Gull I could feed it and make it happen, but that's early mistake, I think. And I'm looking at the end around goal, thinking about what food are going to be here. And if I'm didn't ditch the Kingfisher, then why didn't I take the fish? I don't know why I took that cherry at this point. That seems to make no sense. I've got nothing to go along with it. So I think that's a mistake at this point. I should have taken the fish. I'd be able to play the Kingfisher if I'm going to try to get it down. I've got the food now for the avocet that would have given me the food for the Kingfisher. So that's just, I think it's a mistake at this point. So we'll lay eggs, take a look at cards. Oh, I like that egret. Nice double bird. Now I really wish I kept that fish. I would be able to put the fish and a rat, re-roll. Well, Setty's Warbler, that's going to go. I'm likely not going to play all 4 habitats. I did win this end around goal, and then I'm looking at the next one. Cost of food played. I've got a lot of 3 food birds here. Nothing I really want to ditch. So let's get the avocet down. When they lay eggs, we know they've got an egg or a wetland engine. Sorry, a grassland engine. With their crow and the indigo bunting. So we expect they'll be laying some eggs some more, so we can count some free eggs there. and my opponent countered with the bronze cowbird. So every time we lay eggs, we're both going to be doing this. So now I'm thinking about this double play with the great egret and the red knot. Of course, now I'm really wishing I had kept that or took that fish last time. I've got this stupid cherry that would have given me the food for the great egret. I could have played eggs a couple of times, a couple of seeds from the junco, and then made a nice double play with the egret red knot. It's going to be tough at this point. There's no fish in the tray. So what's going on? I think, look at the tray here. We got the bobwhite, the blackbird. The bobwhite is very interesting. Getting seeds from the junco, so I'll be able to play that very easily. It gives me a lot of egg spaces, especially for the avocet. So I think the bobwhite's a nice one. I would have liked to keep that great tit, but I think it's going to have to go. Now I should be able to play that bobwhite. And now, of course, I'm looking at cost of food played. I play the bobwhite. That gives me 3, but it's going to be pretty impossible to be able to get this double bird play down. So maybe the blackbird gives me 1 additional point. The nut hat's interesting. That would be 1 to give me up in the forest, a second bird there, so I can actually start getting 2 foods, an extra point, a third food. So, and I'd be able to get the food to play it right away. I also have it, but I went for the blackbird. I don't need that Bobo link. You get tucked, another seed, so I could get both the bobwhite and the blackbird down. That's 4 more food for the cost of food played for this end round. Then I won't have a card to tuck behind that blackbird. And my opponent played the woodcock. Nice big 9-point bird, 3 food. So I'm playing a 3 food bird here to catch up with them. And I think I might be still a food behind. Yes, when I play the bobwhite, I will be 1 food behind. So I'll be able to play the blackbird to tie. But I don't like the blackbird in this situation because I don't have another bird I can play. I really want to do this double bird play. That will also give me 6 points on the ethologist bonus card. So what do? They gain food. So they could play another card. They've got 3 food. I don't know of anything that takes two grubs and a cherry. There is maybe a couple of EE birds that do that, but it's an unusual. And so I made a play here to force down the red knot, use a ton of food, and I get a Zongo bonus card, Forester. So there you see the black woodpecker is one of the ones I was thinking about, that 2 grubs and a seed. And a cherry, but take 2 off the top. And play the red knot. If they put down a bird to tie me, that's going to be a huge mistake. And I've basically just tossed out the thought of using the double bird play. So it's going to be one I'm going to tuck. So what do I keep here? I think it's got to be the warbler. 8 points. You toss a card to get extra food to put it down. It's got 4 egg spaces for this last end of round goal up in the forest. Well, I think I really have to do that. Anything else just doesn't make sense. The hawk's easier to get down. But yeah, let's go with the warbler. So once again, you can see I'm not really paying attention to my opponent, just forcing the game here. I think this is one area for my opportunity for game improvement. Would love to hear your thoughts and what strategy you use when you're playing in order to really slow down and think about what you're doing. So you see the end around goals. Fortunately, I did win that third end of round. My opponent did not play another bird, but now I've got no food. And so fortunately, there's a couple of grubs in the tray. They got their food, so that's what they were doing. They were one food short. They wanted that double bird play, so they got the eastern bluebird and catbird down. So that's getting five points for them, and whatever food they want, they're gonna play another bird. You see my grass line here is 3 eggs, 1 on the bob white, discard 1 from the gull, 1 point from the junco. So 4 or 5 points if I discard a food. But let's go ahead and grab the 2 grubs. Not going to need that egret, so it goes away. Grab a couple of grubs. And then 1 additional one. I'm not going to play that egret, so we tossed it. Get an extra food that I can use to discard to play a 4th egg the next turn. At least that makes sense. Let's see if that's what I actually do. At this point, the blackbird is just not going to happen. Likely, I'm tucking it 0 point. I'm not going to have enough tucks under it to make it worth anything. I think just laying eggs is better off than trying to play it. If I can get that warbler, I'll get that warbler down, play eggs next turn, get the seed, play the warbler, and that gives me 6 spots for this last end of round. My Avocet's collecting eggs, so that's good. Lay down 4, make sure I can end up with 6 eggs in each habitat. For sets of eggs in this last end of round goal. So a few mistakes. I think I certainly could have played much better. A few thoughtful turns in here. It's going to be close. I'm not feeling very confident at this point. My opponent's got about an equal engine laying eggs. They've got maybe a few more points on bird points. When I play this warbler down, then maybe it'll get me closer. Didn't actually do any late game math. They don't have a lot of big point birds, but a few more birds than I have. So the Avocet gets another one. That's nice. So, of course, we have to get the warbler down. This will, again, get me the 6 egg spots. And I think the last 2 turns, it's just going to lay eggs. I don't need to discard for the gull. I've got 2 cards to discard to tuck underneath the junco. The first time, I will get a seed to be able to discard to get 4 eggs last turn. So 3, 4, 5 points this turn, and then 4, 5, 6 points the last. So 5 and 6 points. They played their spoonbill. That will get them 6 egg spots as well if they can max it out. I can't imagine they won't, so we'll both have a possibility of 6 now. So I'm glad I took that warbler. You saw a preview of the score there, 82. I calculated 11 points, so probably in the 90s somewhere. Oh, this is going to be close. Not feeling very confident at this point. Could go either way. Really regretting Not taking the fish earlier, missing out the double points, double bird play in the wetlands. I think that was definitely a mistake. Last eggs 4. Let's make sure I got 6 in each habitat. This is not a problem. Looks like I could have done 8 or so, but didn't have the spots up in the forest. Again, early decisions. They will get 1 extra egg from me laying an egg, so that does tie the end around the put on that finch up there. Yes, so we did tie the end around the goals. This is going to be tight. I think they're a little ahead on bird points. Yes, and their spoonbill must have gotten them a good bonus card. Eggs, oh, it's close. And tucked cards, I just squeezed it out. A Junko, early Junko seemed to be a good choice there. So you see they're diet specialist, fishery manager, and wildlife gardener. So a nice pull in the wildlife gardener for them on the end. And a very close win, probably only saved by the Franklin's goal. So there you go, there you have it. Finally a win here for BalletMage. I think strike this one up for pure luck. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks for watching.